name is Morgan Jones with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, and we are out on Fox Island with Gunston School studying the Chesapeake Bay, and so we're doing a few activities to learn more about the bay. We've set crab pots and hopefully are going to catch some crabs. We scraped the grass beds for some softshell crabs. So when we were crab scraping, we caught a seahorse, a lined seahorse, and a striped burrfish. It's similar to a pufferfish, one of those fish that blow up kind of when they feel threatened. And so we scraped those up in the crab scrape. We don't always catch those, so it was very exciting. We just explored the marsh, playing a little game called Marsh Hawk, where the kids pretend to be muskrats and a marsh hawk tries to find them, and it's a good way to learn about habitat. We've had so much fun with Gunston this week, and we hope to see you guys next year.
We have this great hallway of college pennants, and there's an incredible diversity of schools, and that's because we have an incredible diversity of students. And our college process begins in the 9th grade, and we really run our college process by having students ask the question, who am I? Rather than starting with the question, where do I want to go? The classroom experience at Gunston is immersive, it's supportive, it's dynamic, it's engaging. When you walk into a Gunston classroom, students are engaged.
As a junior at Gunston, I've gotten used to the really small class sizes, and I've come to love it because it gives you more of an opportunity to have a one-on-one time with your teacher, and they focus on each individual student rather than just one student in the whole class.
I chose Gunston because I feel like it will provide me the small community environment and small learning setting that I need to succeed.
I chose Gunston because when I came here for my shadow day, everybody was really welcoming and kind and made me feel like part of the school.
At Gunston, we have a very tight-knit community. You simply just don't go to school and come home, do your homework, and then come back. You are interacted in clubs, you're in sports, green and white team. It's truly a community, and being such a small school really fosters that.
Something unique about Gunston is that we're located right on the Corsica River, which allows us to have a couple of awesome water sports such as rowing and triathlon.
Where we are at Gunston is what sets us apart, but I think who we are is what makes us even more special. The talented teachers, the students who are dedicated to learning each and every day. It's that part of the Gunston experience that sticks with students long after their time on campus.
like to play chess? Is there any chess masters in the audience?
You gotta make a mug. Somebody's gotta make a mug. Let's go! Alright, turn them around. You might take the green team a little off.
We care that this is really special, and this may well be the only place in the country that has something like this happening. Everything is easy, everything is offset, everything's polymer, zip, 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 zip. But to be able to set each one of these, each name by hand, I mean, to me, it's very personal. So I think there is a connection, and I think that's it, that it's personal, that it's individual. The individual, I don't want to get too philosophical, but it's individual education. It's our way of doing things. It's emotional, it's physical, it's mental, it's everything that goes into the making of a good student, teaching them how to learn.
Class of 2020, in this most extraordinary time, we gather together online with your loved ones to celebrate you. Today, you become part of a legacy that has endured for 109 years, and you become your own legacy as being the graduating class during COVID-19. We applaud your perseverance, your positive attitude, and your leadership throughout this year, and most especially throughout this spring. Immerse yourselves in this moment and allow this ceremony to touch your hearts as you prepare to move into the next phase of your lives.
Good morning. As the senior class president, I am honored to welcome trustees, faculty and staff, family and friends of the senior class to the 2020 commencement ceremony at the Gunston School. Congratulations to my fellow graduates on reaching the milestone we commemorate together today. As we reflect on our many experiences at Gunston, both individually and as a group, we know that we can eagerly face the future with confidence. I want to wish each of you good health, much happiness, and much success in all the future brings. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jim Wright, Chair of Gunston's Board of Trustees.
Hello, I'm Jim Wright, the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the Gunston School. I'm here today to congratulate you on completing your 4 years of experience at Gunston. Those experiences included education, athletics, bay studies, waterfront activities, but I think most importantly the camaraderie that you each shared with your classmates. But also among the experiences, the experience that we've all shared in the last several months. And I hope that not only that 2 months experience, but your whole experience at Gunston has better prepared you to meet the many challenges, troubling times, wonderful times that each of you will face in the future. If you're able to face those better because of the Gunston education, I'll consider Gunston a success. So, congratulations to each of you. Thank you.
I also want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who is watching this commencement ceremony for Gunston's class of 2020. Whether you live a 10-minute drive from here or a 10-hour flight, we are so glad that you've tuned in to celebrate the amazing students from the class of 2020. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, families. And most importantly, thank you, students. We do want to acknowledge Mr. Jim Wright, who just offered a warm welcome to our graduates. Mr. Wright has served on Gunston's board for over a decade, and he is concluding his 3rd and final year as the chair of Gunston's Board of Trustees. I cannot thank him enough for his leadership, especially during this most recent crisis. And Gunston is fortunate to have a deeply dedicated and talented Board of Trustees to help guide and support the school. So now it is time for the famous Gunston senior quotes. Now, I must say, as head of school, in past years, this was always a pretty nervous moment for me at graduation. Seniors are allowed to choose their own quote and deliver it unfiltered and unedited to an unsuspecting audience. You just never knew what any individual student might say. This year, since these are pre-recorded, I'm a little bit less nervous, but I can attest to 2 things. First, we didn't edit any of these. And second, you still don't have any idea of what the students are going to say. What I truly love about this part of the ceremony every year is that we get to hear every graduate's individual voice. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the senior quotes.
I want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. Dr. Seuss.
Listen, strange women lying pawns distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. By Dennis.
Love when you can. It's good for you. Kurt Vonnegut.
Drink cactus juice. It'll quench ya. Nothing's quenchier. It's the quenchiest.
I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you've actually left them.
When life hands you lemons, make orange juice and leave the world wondering how you did it.
The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great at whatever they want to do. Kobe Bryant.
Go and make interesting mistakes. Make amazing mistakes. Make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules. Leave the world a more interesting place for your being here. Neil Gaiman. Make good art.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Be bold, be courageous, be your best.
So it's that 生于忧患，死于安乐. Let me bow in sorrow and die in peace.
Just keep on keeping on.
Take a walk with a turtle
and behold the world in pause. The Council of Dads, My Daughters, My Illness, and the Men Who Could Be Me by Bruce Feiler.
Sometimes you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right.
Hi, my name is Keller Evans, and this is a quote from Dale Earnhardt. You can't let one bad moment spoil a bunch of good ones.
Promise me you'll always remember. You're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Winnie the Pooh.
Always remember that you are absolutely unique, just like everyone else. Margaret Mead.
Cherish it now, because when it's gone, you will have wished you had.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women. Conan the Cimmerian.
The best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln.
There is a road, no simple highway, between the dawn and the dark of night. And if you go, no one may follow. That path is for your steps alone. The Grateful Dead.
Donuts. Is there anything they can't do? Homer Simpson.
The most dangerous thing you can do in life is play it safe. Casey Neistat.
There are no easy answers. There are only living through the questions. From Elizabeth George.
Hi, this is Sage. My favorite quote is, "Be patient. Good things take time. Give yourself some time to grow. Everything will come to you in the right moment."
Life's a climb, but the view is great. Miley Cyrus.
Do what you do for the right reasons, don't whine, and never be anything less than completely grateful for what you have. Dave Grohl.
Supreme executive power derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony. Dennis.
Winners are not people who never fail, but people who never quit. The Nickerson family.
This is the John Pettit, class of 2020. Life is hard. It's even harder when you're stupid. John Wayne.
There are always flowers for those who want to see them. Henri Matisse.
Oh, I love men. I think that men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live. My mom said to me, "You know, sweetheart, one day you should settle down and marry a rich man." And I said, "Mom, I am a rich man. Share."
On behalf of Maddie Rudder, I will be reading her senior quote. We need to remember what's important in life. Friends, waffles, work. Or waffles, friends, work. Doesn't matter, but work is third. Leslie Knope.
Live for something rather than die for nothing. George S. Patton.
How lucky I am to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard.
Man is nothing other than what he makes of himself. Jean-Paul Sartre.
You can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. Dennis.
When life gives you sour lemons, drink the bad lemonade. Lily Ward.
I'd rather be fishing.
生前哪管身后事，浪得几日是几日。是非在己，毁誉由人，得失不论。
I mean, if I went around saying I was an emperor just because some moistened bint had lobbed a scimitar at me, they'd put me away. Dennis.
Smart people sometimes don't do their homeworks.
I've been to the top of the mountain and the bottom of the gutter. There's much to learn from both.
You don't stop playing because you're getting old. You're old because you stop playing. By Uncle Drew.
A Day Without Laughter is a Day Wasted by Charlie Chaplin.
That was great. Okay, now to our valedictorian. The Samuel A. Middleton Award, named in honor of one of our two founders, is Gunston's valedictorian award and is given to the senior with the most distinguished academic record during their career at Gunston. Today's winner of the Middleton Award, Mr. William Will Newberg, has taken the most rigorous academic course load in the senior class, including 9 honors and 9 AP classes, all the while maintaining an unblemished 4.0 grade point average. Beyond the classroom, Will has been a rower, a sailor, a member of the tennis team, sophomore class president, vice president of the math club, president of the technology club, chief coder for the robotics team, and president of our science and engineering club, which has been responsible for our Near Space Balloon project. As you would expect, this year's Middleton Award winner was inducted into our National Honor Society and has received Gunston's coveted Effortarian Award. Will Newberg has been the kind of citizen and human being who has gained the admiration and respect of every member of his class, who not only always shows up to work hard, but also wants to support the hard work of others. The Middleton Award is an academic award, but Will embodies all of those other qualities and our responsibilities of the community: respect, camaraderie, and honesty. They carried him far at Gunston and will carry him even farther in life. Will is off to the University of Virginia in the fall, and we are pleased to honor him as our Middleton Award winner. Well done, Will.
Hello. We've gathered here today to celebrate the class of 2020 in the way I'm sure we have always wanted to, over the internet and with pre-recorded videos. I obviously don't need to tell you that these are unfortunate times, but we should take a moment to recognize our faculty and staff for stepping up to the occasion. Our teachers have bent over backwards trying to get us to continue learning during this pandemic. All the AP teachers managed to deal with a rapidly changing AP system, all the while gracefully listening to our complaints. I'm looking at you, Dr. Wilson. It was no easy task for the administration to field a quick and comprehensive response to this pandemic, but through what I have to imagine were countless hours of incredibly boring meetings, they did. As always, the crew in Middleton have kept our school running smoothly, as have Mr. Darling and Mr. Spray, by keeping our campus clean even now. It's important for us as students to recognize that we were never going to be happy learning and finishing this semester in quarantine. But Gunston made the most of the resources it had available to it. So, to all the faculty and staff, thank you so much for not only all your hard work during this pandemic, but over all my 4 years here as well. And this brings me to the parents. Not only have all of you sent us to this great school, but you managed to deal with us all day, every day, in quarantine as well. You've stepped up to the plate whenever something was asked of you, from bake sales and crew cookouts to the parent association, all the while emotionally and physically supporting us throughout Gunston. Mom, Dad, thank you. I remember when I learned that we weren't going back to campus this semester. My mind immediately went over all the events left in the year. Green and White Day, prom, junior senior day. It seemed obvious to mourn the big events before all else. But eventually, as the reality of daily life in quarantine sunk in, I realized that I wasn't exactly right. More than anything else, I started to miss the little things about Gunston. I missed walking between classes. I missed talking to my friends in the atrium during breaks. Out of the entire sailing season, I missed stopping at the Wawa to get snacks before regattas. And while I'd obviously still take one more Green and White Day over a lunch outside, I realized that these little events were what got me through the day. When they're no longer part of my life, I noticed. While I was at Gunston, I had never really taken the time to appreciate all the little things that now I missed so much. In short, I'd been taking my life for granted. Not only had I not recognized the small experiences throughout the day that made life better, but I wasn't taking full advantage of them either. I can't tell you how many times I walked to my classes and didn't even notice how beautiful campus was because I was stressed about something that, in hindsight, wasn't important. But after quarantine, walking to class on a spring day almost seems like a privilege. An experience that I used to almost routinely ignore has become something I have a longing and nostalgia for. Let me be clear, I'm not complaining about the way I spent my last 4 years here. I did a great job enjoying all of what Gunston had to offer. But, as both a graduate and having lost this last quarter to the coronavirus, I can say that all of these little moments matter. Take advantage of them while you have the chance. Let's not forget about the big opportunities either, especially since the bigger an opportunity is, the harder it is for us to take advantage of. For my first 2 years here, I just chose day trips for my base studies. I was lazy, and I wanted to put in as little effort as possible. I had fun. I'll always look back fondly on building rockets with Max. But last year I chose the Headwaters trip. We went down to camp in Sharanda right by Charlottesville for a week, and I genuinely think it was one of the best weeks of my life. The morning after a raccoon stole John's Fruity Pebbles, Coach Mel got us up at 4 in the morning to go march the van and drove us to a hiking trail which had a view of the sunrise. After a few days of a lot of hiking and physical activity, this hurt. In the darkness, I could barely see where I was putting my feet. But once we got to the top, the view was absolutely stunning. Watching the sunrise over the Blue Ridge Mountains was truly a highlight of an already great trip. There could have been 2 more of those trips if I had pushed myself outside of my comfort zone, my freshman and sophomore years. We all know the feeling of letting something like this slip by. It's natural for us to shy away from the biggest opportunities and to choose to see them as either worthless or entirely out of reach. I have made the decision to take the easy path of comfort and indecision, and I have taken risks and tried new things. I swear, every time I took a big risk or pushed myself outside of my comfort zone, my life has become noticeably better. Don't be afraid to take risks. It's worth it. Look, my class lost part of our high school experience because of circumstance. However, to all the current students, you have the power to make your high school experience whatever you want it to be. You still have the opportunity to enjoy all the great little things about Gunston. You still can have adventures and take risks. Don't pity my class, but learn from us. High school doesn't last as long as you think. You have to enjoy it while you have the chance. Take full advantage of everything you are given. Going to a school like Gunston is a privilege. I'm sure many of you are tired of hearing this, and yes, it has its drawbacks, everything does. But Gunston provides so many unique experiences and has so many qualities that you just need to be open to enjoy. Learn from my class. Don't let yourself get too overwhelmed by stress or too bogged down in the daily struggles of a high schooler to savor every day at Gunston. Don't let any of the big opportunities pass you up. Go on the adventure-based studies. Ask that person out. You've got one shot at this. Make sure you live the best life you possibly can. As for the seniors, we're out of here. It feels strange to look back on who we were during freshman retreat. We were really just kids then, and now we're all graduates and off to square one again, this time with a whole new set of opportunities, community, and little things to enjoy. Even if we have to start online, eventually, we'll get there. It's up to us to be the best lost little freshmen we can. So, 4 years from now, we can look back and have grown just as much as since freshman retreat. The next few years could easily be the best of our lives. It's up to us. We just have to take all the opportunities college gives us head on and live the best life we possibly can. Although, to be honest, I have no doubt that the class of 2020 isn't going to let a single moment go to waste. After all, you guys had enough fun that you dragged me out of my shell and helped me make the best memories of my life. I will always be grateful for my time with you, and I wish you all the best going forward.
Great job, Will. It's now my pleasure to introduce this year's commencement speaker, Ms. Rita Baghdadi, who is a graduate of Gunston's class of 2003. Funny enough, earlier this year we invited Rita to be our graduation speaker, but she turned us down because she lives in Los Angeles, California, and she was simply unable to attend. Alas, circumstances have changed, and we were delighted to learn that indeed Rita is able to join us after all, albeit remotely. While at Gunston, Rita was extremely memorable. According to her mentor, Mr. Ben Dyes, here is what Rita was like at Gunston.
Rita Baghdadi came to Gunston as part of a class of true individuals. But even in this class of independent thinkers, Rita stood out. Mr. Kaler remembers her as being an Energizer bunny whenever she took on any project. Mrs. Gravis has this great memory of Rita toting around this massive camera on her slight shoulder, being trailed by her assistants. I remember Rita as an outstanding student, energetic, engaged, inquisitive, and with a true love of learning. She took virtually every art class that we offered and excelled in them all. And when she graduated, she gave me her art history notebooks, which were extensive and organized and probably had everything I ever said in class. But going through the notebook, I came across a study guide, and in the margin was written, "Know it like it's your job." And that's pretty much the way Rita approached her education, which led her to her present job. And Rita, we're glad to have you back at Gunston. even if it is virtually.
After graduating from Gunston, Rita went to Chicago, attending Columbia College and graduating summa cum laude with a degree in film before moving to LA in 2007 to pursue her career in film. She has been enormously successful, and her work has been supported by Sundance, Tribeca, Netflix, BBC, CNN Films, and A&E, and she has been screened in top film festivals worldwide. Recently, Rita was hired to produce and direct the feature documentary City Rising. The film was awarded 3 Emmy Awards, including Best Social Issue Film. Her feature documentary, My Country No More, won Best Feature at the Big Sky Documentary Film Festival and was picked up for national broadcast on Independent Lens in 2019. In addition to taking documentary films from conception to completion, Rita has directed commercial content for major brands including Beats by Dre, Gatorade, and Bud Light, and she is currently in production on several new features, including Sirens, a coming-of-age story about the first all-female thrash metal band from the Middle East. Can't wait to see that. Today, Rita runs her own production company, and when she's not in the field, she is dedicated to empowering girls and women through film training. She's an advisor for the Sundance Collab documentary film course. She's co-founder and organizer of the group Women in Documentary Filmmaking, and an active mentor with Global Girl Media. At Gunston, Rita was an avid horseback rider, and she maintains this passion to this day. As a school, we are deeply proud of her accomplishments, and we are grateful to have her join us today. Please welcome Ms. Rita Baghdadi.
Hello from Los Angeles, California. My name is Rita Baghdadi, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be with you virtually on your big day today. So thank you for having me. Bear with me because I'm used to being on the other side of the camera. So I figured in the spirit of the times and the spirit of what I do, it would be fun to do a self-tape in my living room. This year I know has been extra hard. Some families are mourning loved ones. Some have lost their jobs, and we're all just trying our best to keep up with the chaos. For you graduating seniors, I know you've been kept on your toes, having to adapt to online learning and being socially distant from your friends. It's not something I had to deal with when I was graduating. But just know that you're not alone. Your parents and your teachers have dedicated their lives to making sure that you succeed. So first I wanted to give a round of thanks because I know I wouldn't be here today without some incredible teachers, many of whom still work at Gunston. Mrs. Gravis, Mr. Dyes, Mr. Michael, Miss Gruss, Mr. Henry, Mr. Kaler, Mrs. Newell, Mr. and Mrs. Everdell, Mr. Weaning, and many more. I'll be honest, when I first sat down to write this, I was conflicted, wondering how am I gonna say something inspirational about the future when the future looks so uncertain? And then I thought about it. Doesn't the future always look uncertain? In fact, isn't that what makes life beautiful, is that we don't know where it's going to take us? If one good thing has come out of this pandemic, I hope it's that we've gotten the opportunity to embrace the present moment a little bit more. I know personally for me, it's been quite a change of pace from traveling to being home every day. Talking to you now, it's like I'm talking to myself 17 years ago. Because when I was graduating, you guys were just coming into this world. And I know it sounds cliche, but time really does move fast. For example, next year, it'll be 20 years since 9/11 happened. And I can still vividly remember that day, sitting on the cold metal bleachers of the gym during morning meeting when everyone was in total shock. As an Arab American, I can say that that day changed my life forever, just like the coronavirus is going to change your lives forever. It's a part of your generation's history now. And I have no doubt it will be an experience that you will draw on and continue to learn from throughout your lives. I had such a positive experience at Gunston. Really though, how lucky are we that we got to go to school on one of the most beautiful campuses in the whole world? My only regret is that I didn't take up sailing. When I was a student from 2000 to 2003, I started a film club. Well, whether it was an official club or I was just carrying a camera around, I really don't remember. But regardless, I spent much of my free periods trying to figure out how to make movies with my friends. For one film, I tried to orchestrate throwing a dummy out of the 3rd floor of the brick building. Well, that wasn't going to happen. So I had to figure out a way to fake it in the edit. I'm sure I drove the staff nuts, so thanks for putting up with me. But really, it was that nurturing environment, you know, the freedom to be myself and to try new things, the personal attention. That's what made Gunston so special. I'll share a few more memories with you. On opening night of one of the school plays, I was supposed to walk out first. And I was dressed as an elderly lady with a cane, and I had pillows stuffed in my clothes. And I walked on stage all alone, and I just froze. I stood there staring into the audience, and I just forgot my lines, and I started laughing out loud. And to my surprise, the audience started laughing along with me. During one of our championship varsity field hockey games, I remember it was bitter cold that day, and it started sleeting, and I couldn't feel my fingers or my toes and couldn't see where we were running. And honestly, I don't even remember if we won that game, although I'm pretty sure we won that game because we won all of our games. But you know, I share these experiences because it's often the challenging experiences that I remember the most. And that's because hardship is the essence of a good story. While my film club was short-lived, I'm pretty sure it ended when I graduated, the film part evolved into a career for me. I ended up studying film at Columbia College in Chicago, and I was inspired to take classes in documentary filmmaking. Although I had no idea how it would ever turn into a job, I was simply following my heart and leaning into the things that made me passionate. After I received my bachelor's degree in 2007, I moved to Los Angeles. And since then, I've been lucky to travel the world and experience life through the lens of my camera. In 2018, I received an Emmy Award, and one day maybe I'll earn an Oscar. What a dream that would be. But, you know, awards are not something you can count on. They're voted on by people just like you and I, who have interests that come and go. And I feel like your generation knows this more than anyone because of the internet. One minute you're hot, and the next minute you're not. So my advice, which is something that I wish somebody had said to me a long time ago, is don't wait for someone to tell you your idea is good. Don't wait for somebody to tell you you're good enough. It sounds simple, but it actually took me a long time to learn that. I spent a lot of my 20s, you know, working on other people's projects, trying to make a living, you know, getting by, but not really knowing my worth. And it wasn't until I, you know, started believing in my own ideas and started taking chances to realize those ideas. That's when people started to recognize me as an artist. And I think it really all comes down to having the courage to trust in yourself. Since then, I've built my career on trust. As a documentary filmmaker, I have to trust that the story I'm telling is going to be interesting and important for people other than me in 2 to 5 years when the film is finished. I have to trust my crew and the people I'm following, sometimes in dangerous situations. For example, one summer I was filming with a 16-year-old girl named Jasmine in Los Angeles, And late one night, after I had taken her to the rodeo, I was dropping her back home. And she lived on one of the most notorious blocks. They called it Death Alley because at the time it was the highest rate of homicide in the country. And so we're sitting in the car and she says, "Don't get out. Don't get out of the car." And I ask her why. And she points to her house and the graffiti on it. Somebody had just spray painted. And she explained to me that it was, essentially a death threat from a rival gang. And told me it would be safest if I stayed in the car. So here was this girl half my age, living in this circumstance, had a lot more to worry about, and here she was worried about my safety. So, she trusted me with her story, and I trusted her with my life. And it's these sort of experiences that I've had around trusting other people and trusting myself. It's one of the reasons I have this tattoo on my hand. It says trust in Arabic, and it's short for trust your instinct, which is something my dad taught me. These days we're living in a time of great change. And I know, again, it sounds cliche, but really, we have the ability to reimagine what's possible, to move forward in a different way. And the world needs curious minds to fathom better futures. That's exactly what you represent. After graduating, it doesn't matter what field of work you go into, whether it's medicine or technology or art, or something else entirely. Just remember that your ideas and your decisions matter. They mean something. You're one person, but you're a part of an entire world, and everything you do has a cause and effect. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master something. What do you want to master? Mozart mastered the piano. Michael Jordan mastered basketball. What if you started by mastering the art of listening to your instinct? The art of human connection, of trust and empathy. What would the world look like if everybody cared as much as you? Be curious. And most importantly, please help others along the way. And don't ever be afraid to make mistakes. Huge congratulations to you, graduating class of 2020. I'm so excited for you and your futures. I wish you the best of luck, health, and endless curiosity. We're all rooting for you.
It's now time for our senior tributes. These tributes were born from a combination of the remarks I would normally share about each of you on Green and White Awards Day, combined with senior video footage and with a sprinkle of appreciation and love from your advisors. At the brick laying ceremony each year, I like to share that the reason we give each senior a brick with their name on it is because each senior is so essential to building the foundation of our community. Seniors, these tributes serve a similar function. They aim to celebrate your strengths, your passions, and your unique role on our campus. I'm not sure when the day will come, but I can promise you that we will gather together as a group as soon as we are able. While I know there is deep sadness that we cannot be together today, I hope you can take some deep joy in watching these individual tributes to each of you and to each of your classmates. I want to take a special moment and thank Gunston parent Tori Pocock and his team at Rigo Pro. It takes about 2 hours to put together each one of these tributes, and they have done this process lovingly and with a lot of care and with a lot of skill. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the senior tributes. Andrew Amygdalos. Each of my senior tributes last about 1 minute, but with you, Andrew, I have a problem. I have 500 minutes of material. In my 25 years of teaching, I've only co-taught once, with you last year, where as a class we referred to you as Amigapedia. As your academic team coach, well, let me just say that now I know how LeBron James's high school coach must have felt when he graduated. I guess we'll have to rebuild next year. Your Green and White Day performances are the stuff of legend. our trip to DC where you spotted dozens of incognito politicos, also the stuff of legend. You study maps of English counties in your free time, and yet you're humble and self-effacing, generous and serious, and I can't tell you how much we will miss you next year. At the end of AP Government last year, I asked each student what they planned to do as a career, and you answered, I want to become a Washington insider. Well, Andrew, George Washington University is a perfect landing spot for you.
Andrew, congratulations on a great 4 years. I will miss our philosophical conversations and discussions about history and current politics. I'll also miss our arguments over pronunciations of names and places. Thanks for helping out and creating a great Model UM program. Good luck in the future and keep in touch.
The first Gunston student I ever met was Eiley Ashley, but at that time she was 8 years old. It was my third day on Gunston's campus in July of 2010, and a teenager ran into my office asking me if I knew where the ice machine was. Actually, I didn't know. She was babysitting two children, Eiley and Phil Ashley, who were playing on our campus, and Eiley had been stung in the face by a wasp. I rushed around to find the ice maker, which I finally located, but I remember being struck by this young girl who was sniffling but not wailing. I remember thinking, that's the toughest 8-year-old girl I have ever seen. Eiley, in your 4 years at Gunston, you have been a steadfast friend, a splendid athlete, a strong student, and a model of consistency in everything that you do. As you head to the University of Maryland to study psychology and criminology, I know that this consistency and toughness will carry you as far as you choose to go.
Thanks, Eiley. Thank you for being so giving, for always asking how I am. I know that probably sounds simple, but it really means a lot to know that someone cares. And it makes me happy to know that you're not just playing teacher's pet. You're that way with everyone that I see you with. I see how much you care about your friends and your team. I've seen you pick up other people's trash. You listen to your friends when they're upset. You help other people out when they need it. And that's just awesome. Thanks for being you, Eiley.
Arapulbai, you have been a star here at Gunston, and you are headed to the University of Rochester, where I know you will continue to be a rainmaker. Seriously, you are in every Gunston club and activity. I was hoping to have this speech in the field house, where I could have led the school in a Don McLean's version of Bye, bye, Mr. Arapulbai, and where I could share my favorite anecdotes about your charisma, your intelligence, and your skill at asking for forgiveness instead of permission. My favorite was at O'Hare Airport your sophomore year, where you told me, not asking of course, that you were headed to Gate 90. We were at something like Gate 2 to hang out with a new lady friend that you had met at the academic team national championships. I'll be back, you said, 15 minutes before we board. I remember saying, how about 45 minutes, Arapul? And off you went, and now off you go into the world, where you take your warmth, your sophistication, and a kind of fearlessness that always leads to enormous success. Good luck, Arapul.
Dear Arapul, you have shown remarkable academic performance and achievements. It was my honor to teach an amazing student like you. Your confidence, independent, and positive attitude will outgrow any challenge life throws at you. I wish you the best in your next level of academic achievements. Your teacher and advisor, Shapur Ahmadi.
Annie Bamford, it was a delightful day when, as a new 11th grader coming from the political hotbed of New Hampshire, you breezed into my government class filled with a passion for politics, a wry sense of humor, and a low tolerance for bad arguments by your fellow classmates. You quickly became a 3-season athletic contributor, a star and starter on the academic A-team, a powerful and effective leader of SDLG, and in a short time, you have left a 4-year imprint on our campus in only 2 years. Meanwhile, I will always remember the moment you got Nancy Pelosi to turn her head as we were touring Congress. Now that you've made your mark at Gunston, it's time for you to make your mark on the world. I know you haven't chosen college yet, but I know wherever you choose, you are going to absolutely shine. Good luck, Annie.
Thanks, Annie. Thank you for always bringing some good old sardonic humor to the Flannel Fam. The color that you brought to our advisory and to the board are appreciated, as are your moods of the day. I always appreciate your wit, your dry political humor and insight. You see things in a way that a lot of people don't, and you express your perspective in a fun and accessible way that I truly envy as a teacher and as a person. Thanks for being you, Annie.
Inquisitive, quirky, creative, bright, and positive are the first words that come to mind when I think of you, Mac. You're a beacon of goodwill, and you never turn down an opportunity to make each day better for those around you. With a quick and genuine smile and a sparkle in your eye, you commiserate with your peers while gently pulling them from the doldrums of their daily drudgery with your disarming joviality. As the child of an Army officer, Mac has lived in numerous places across the globe, so in addition to being more worldly than typical peers his own age, he is a young man always ready for an adventure. Big Mac, you have been a stalwart member of the sailing and triathlon teams, a parking space hog in that huge vehicle you drive, and I've been incredibly impressed with the way you've managed your senior year, even though your family moved to England, where I suspect you are listening to this. Good luck, Mac. We're going to miss you.
Mac Borghardt. I've always enjoyed having Mac as my advisee. Mac has always impressed me with his reliability, honest, and positive attitude. In my classes, Mac always has been a tireless worker with high standards for himself, whether he was doing a drawing, painting, or a soapstone sculpture polished to a mirror finish. Mac chose to remain at Gunston to finish up his senior year, but COVID-19 had other plans, so now he's back in England with his family. It's been a real pleasure, Mac. Thank you.
Mark Borden, what are you up to? That is a question that I have asked many times during your tenure at Gunston. And actually, over 4 years, you have been up to a lot. You've been on the crew team, the sailing team, the soccer team. And when I see you in the atrium, I can never quite tell what new idea is being hatched in your head. But I can hear the hatching. Even though I've given you the side eye more than once, you are always ready with a friendly and warm hello. You are a rare combination of creativity, intelligence, and charisma, and I have the feeling that if I invested a nickel with you, I would eventually get back $1. Mark, in the student questionnaire that you filled out in 8th grade, you wrote, quote, "I'm unstoppable when I am motivated to do something. Motivation is a powerful trait that comes and goes, but when it is there, I am unstoppable." Nothing truer ever spoken. Good luck at Drexel, Mark.
Hey, Mark. It's Mr. Kaler. Thinking about you. Wishing I could be there for all the final festivities, and in fact, I wish we were having final festivities. But I think about the times that we've had together. Sometimes it was a struggle, sometimes it's just been great. I will miss you and your family, and I wish you the absolute best.
Stephen Brown, it's simply not possible that you're a senior and that you're graduating. Aren't seniors supposed to be jaded, cynical, and grumpy? Not you. You're still as young at heart as a student visiting for a shadow day. You're one of the few teen gentlemen who will shamelessly give his parents a hug in front of your peers without remorse. You have little tolerance for rudeness and bullying, and you're always shutting down nastiness directed at you or your social group. You're equally excited about constructing a computer tower from scratch as you are using a variety of coding languages, and you're always ready to help out with anything technical, and you've dedicated enormous amounts of time to working the lighting and sound for the Gunston players. Meanwhile, you've done a summer research internship at Delaware State developing code for satellites. It comes as no surprise to me or anyone else that you're interested in pursuing computer science, engineering, and robotics in college. Stephen, the world is a warmer, more joyful, and relaxed place with you in it, and I wish you all the best in college and beyond.
Stephen, congratulations on a great 4 years. I've been so impressed by your work over that time, seeing the hard work you do in advisory and enjoying your humor and your positive attitude. Good luck in the future. Stay in touch. Congratulations again.
Cotter Buckley, you lead by example. From the first day you showed up to campus, you have thrown yourself into everything Gunston has to offer: academic, athletic, extracurricular activities. and you've done so without ever saying a bad word about anyone or anything. When I think of you, Cotter, I think of heart, and I can think of few students who have shown as much heart and grit and generosity during their 4 years here. I remember how much you were affected by your trip to Peru, and your friends and teachers know that you are an amazing listener. In addition to a big heart, you've got a hard head. I don't think I've ever seen a soccer ball bounce off a head higher and farther than yours. Cotter, you're truly a class act, someone who makes everyone around you better. And I have been proud to work with you over these 4 years. Here's wishing you all the best at Hobart and William Smith.
Cotter Buckley. The best word to describe Cotter is driven. Whether it's in the classroom, field, or court, Cotter always strives hard to achieve his goals. In addition, Cotter has shown improvement throughout his 4 years at Gunston. He has become a model student athlete. We are all looking forward to Cotter's future success.
Michaela Campbell, you've never been afraid to be yourself, to speak your mind, and to drive forward towards your life's goals. In your application in 8th grade, you wrote that your academic interests were math, art, music, robotics, and chemistry. You wrote that you were unstoppable when you were doing anything related to technology. You wrote that someday you would like to invent the latest and greatest technology. You've been a fixture in the idea box in the robotics lab and a star on the stage for the Gunston players. Michaela, you're responsible, creative, inquisitive, and observant. You have a can-do attitude sprinkled with a sense of humor that complements your strong work ethic both inside and outside of the classroom. We are all proud of what you've accomplished here at Gunston, and we know that Champlain College will be a perfect fit for your interests, talents, and goals.
Hi, Michaela. It's Dr. G. Congratulations. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you deserve it. Thank you for keeping me on my toes by always asking great questions, from the intriguing ones you would ask in class to those that related to your senior year. A true highlight for me was having you on the balloon recovery team the year that we actually saw the near space balloon falling to the ground. Thank you for being you, for your wit in the mornings that often made me smile, and for the great times in advisory this year. I will miss you. Please make sure to stay in touch. Best of luck in the future. Congrats again.
Friendly, confident, thoughtful, gregarious, and mature are the first words that come to mind when thinking of Gianna Casiello. Gianna, you are always quick with a smile, forthcoming in your opinions without making those who disagree with you feel underappreciated, and you can often be found chatting with your friends in the atrium. A dedicated member of the crew team, you're always happy to share the highlights of the latest regatta with friends and faculty alike. Always full of surprises, some of you may not know that Gianna studied Taekwondo, competing on a national level as a black belt, becoming a 3-time national champion in point sparring and winning the gold medal at the Junior Olympics. Yet, Gianna, your ability in martial arts in no way dampens your benevolent nature. I know that giving back to your community is extremely important to you, and that you are particularly compassionate with children. I also know that you enjoy the logic of math and science, and that you're eager to put those skills to work in the field of business. And we know that you will thrive at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Good luck to you, Gianna.
Hi, Gianna. It's Dr. G. Congratulations, graduate. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you deserve it. A true highlight for me was your leadership when your Algebra 1 class got a little too talkative or loud. Thank you for having my back in that situation. I am so glad that you decided to officially join our advisory your sophomore year. Thank you for being you, for your thoughtfulness and acts of kindness, and for the great memories over the past 4 years. I will miss you. Please make sure to stay in touch. Best of luck in the future. Congrats again.
Catherine Chen, in your application to Gunston, you noted that your most prized possession was your brain. Everything you've done here has been a testament to that, and your friends and your teachers know that you are an incredible human being. When you applied to Gunston, you wrote that you were unstoppable, quote, when you were eating ice cream with no fat. I love it. When I read that over again, I chuckled because I thought, that is so Catherine, fun-loving, kind to others, not afraid to speak straight. Steadily and consistently, you have made your mark here at Gunston, in the classroom, on the tennis court, with your skill and your smile, for the yearbook, and as a volunteer. It fills me with joy knowing that you will be studying early childhood education at Syracuse next year, and I know that you're going to make an impact on the world. Good luck, Catherine.
Catherine, you are one of the nicest people I know. Cheerful, sweet, kind, you speak positively of all you interact with. I've enjoyed your flute playing, the melt-in-the-mouth brownies, your amazing art in Mr. Dice's classroom, and your daily willingness to participate and to help peers. You are a strong and accomplished young lady. I miss you already, and will miss you more as this year draws to a close. Enjoy college to the fullest, and please don't hesitate to visit your Gunston family.
Independent, introverted, confident, resilient, and determined are the first words that come to my mind when thinking of you, Sona Chen. Although I know you had trepidation about beginning your studies in the United States, you have made formidable adjustments with regard to navigating a new culture. I remember how you started to come out of your shell when you returned for your junior year, thanks to a new hobby that you had acquired, kickboxing. In the classroom, you've embraced the challenge of problem solving through mathematics and gaming. And although you remain reserved in your daily interactions at school, your curiosity and your resilience shine through. In your application to Gunston, you shared that you dreamed of stopping war, decreasing crime, and ending poverty. And I know that you'll connect those goals to your interest and study of math as you head off to the University of Connecticut in Storrs. Good luck, Sona.
Sona, when I think back to your first days and weeks at Gunston, I remember how quiet and timid you were. Moving halfway around the globe, away from your family, to a place with a different language and different culture must have been incredibly difficult. But you've really grown and developed so much in the last 3 years by pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. You've worked so hard to improve your English, you've found hobbies that allow you to take care of yourself physically and mentally, and you have so much more confidence now. I see so much joy when we do our morning advisory check-ins, and I love hearing about your time at home with your family and appreciate that you ask about mine as well. I will miss you, but I wish you the best in all of your future endeavors and hope you keep in touch.
Zaria Dalton, I felt like your headphones never came off in your first year here, after you had transferred here as a junior, having moved from the metropolis of Seattle to the quietest corner of the universe, Maryland's Eastern Shore. As we got to know you, Zaria, we saw your love of literature, your interest in storytelling, your great sense of humor, all with a touch of edge. Zaria knows what's cool long before other people realize it. And in your application to Gunston, Zaria, you shared that, quote, "My most prized possessions are my books. All of them are important to me. I have over 100 books on my bookshelf, and I plan to read every last one of them," unquote. Someday, when the bookstores reopen, Zaria, I know that I will be browsing the stacks in the D in the literature section, and that someday I will see the many stories and novels that will flow from your deep well of creativity. Good luck at that writer's paradise, Denison University in Ohio.
Thanks, Zaria. Thank you for reminding me that some students actually really do love to read. I enjoyed every moment that you distracted me during my planning periods to talk to me about books that you were reading, and for sharing the book Will Grayson with me. You inspire me to follow through with my own writing and have encouraged me to not be afraid of creativity and change. Thanks for being you, Zaria.
Effortarian, all-shore chorus member, and sadly, a Yankees fan. Nina D'Angelo, it has been a pleasure to get to know you and to teach you this year. I have rarely met someone with your combination of kindness, curiosity, and thoroughness. You have been an incredible example of effort, perseverance, and self-advocacy during your time here. And as we have had the chance to meet one-on-one over these past several weeks, I can hear the excitement in your voice as you think about your next 4 years living and studying at the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C., where I know that your love of politics and theology and music will be fulfilled. Congratulations, Nina, and we are really going to miss you here at Gunston.
Hello, Nina. That's Mr. Kaler. I'm thinking about you, and I'm thinking about your family, and thinking about the years we've had together. And I am going to miss you, but I'm wishing you the absolute best of luck at Catholic University, and I know you're going to do well. Take care of yourself, and I hope to see you before all of this is over.
There are not many students who could motivate me to stick an enormous needle in my arm, but Kate Detterly, you are such a student. Your work this year on the blood drive was truly amazing, and during your time here, you've been an empathetic, devoted, motivated, curious, and industrious student. A determined young woman, Kate, you're a flurry of activity, often found studying with your peers or on your own, and meeting with teachers to make sure that you fully understand a concept. You make time for your friends, and if someone is experiencing distress, you stop and come to their aid. You're a leader in our community, Kate, and I know that you enjoy the camaraderie of being on the crew team, learning about different cultures through your friendships with those from other countries and your travels abroad, and your desire to help others and your passion for anatomy and physiology led you to participate in a medical internship during your junior year. I know that you're eager to begin your studies in biology so that you can pursue those interests in medicine after you complete your undergraduate degree at Appalachian State. Good luck, Kate.
Kate, I keep thinking about your freshman year and your short hair and how much your hair has grown in the last 4 years. And I feel like it really symbolizes the growth you've made into an amazing human. The work that I feel like you've done for the school community and your clubs. I mean, we had a blood drive on campus and you made that happen. I hope you are also proud of all that you've done, and please keep in touch. I'll miss you so much, and good luck at Appalachian State.
Adventurous, easygoing, friendly, active, and polite are the first words that come to mind when thinking of Keller Evans. Keller, with your honest appreciation of nature, I know you love spending time outdoors, and that's what led you to the Chesapeake watershed semester. Respectful of your peers and your teachers, Keller, you've always been quick with a smile and a heartfelt greeting. You're also able to find the humor in seemingly mundane tasks, and you maintain a positive outlook on life, regardless of any temporary pitfalls you might experience. As an avid athlete, you exude energy when you participate in hockey and tennis and futsal and mountain biking and skiing, and I know you delight in challenging yourself in sports. Your love of cars knows no bounds, and you can always be found in rapt conversation about a variety of cars with powerful engines. Due in part to your fascination with high-performance vehicles, Keller, I know you're interested in pursuing mechanical engineering technology in college, and I want to wish you the best of luck in your life beyond Gunston.
Keller Evans. Keller possesses qualities that are rare in today's society. Among these qualities are honesty and integrity. When Keller says he's going to do something, it gets done. When Keller feels that he will fall short of a goal, he seeks out help and is never afraid to express that he needs that help. Keller's passion will lead him to achieve the goals that he desires. We are all looking forward to Keller reaching those goals.
Frankie Fisher, you are a ball of intensity, and you have the eye of the tiger. In your application to Gunston, you wrote, quote, "I am unstoppable when I'm told I can't do something." And Frankie, I can definitely attest to this, because in the few conversations where I've been in a position to say no to something that you were asking, I could see that you were hearing a very different phrase, which is not yet. You've been a consistent honor student and an athlete who's made an impact on a number of teams, and you've always had high expectations of yourself and others. If one of your friends is having a hard time, I can always see that you're a great listener, allowing them to fully vent their frustrations without judgment. Meanwhile, it's also been inspiring to watch your interests grow in serving your country. And I can't wait to see how well you succeed when you head off to High Point. Good luck, Frankie. We're going to miss you.
Thanks, Frankie. Thank you for pushing me outside of my comfort zone. It was nice to have someone who is so knowledgeable of biology and anatomy in the Health and Nutrition Club who not only kept me humble, but also supported me and never made me feel like an idiot for sometimes not even knowing the basics of health or nutrition. I'll never forget how you were able to coordinate a successful fundraiser in less than a week. Thanks for being you, Frankie.
Cedar Foster, the image I will always have of you is during your senior soccer season, where you fearlessly cruise down the field at top speed, scoring some amazing goals with your very powerful foot. When I think of you, Cedar, the words creative, independent, confident, and inquisitive come to mind. You're quick with a smile and your positive outlook on life. You can always be found discussing a variety of subjects with your friends. Cedar, you are as drawn to robotics as you are to the arts. And I think you enjoy figuring out how much robots function as much as you enjoy playing a variety of musical instruments. And during your 4 years here, you've been an essential member of the Gunston Players. Always happy to spend time outdoors, you were a key member of the Chesapeake Watershed Semester. Finally, Cedar, your deep love for your country is inspiring, having been raised in a military family. And I know you're going to make a big impact as you pursue your studies in Homeland Security and Cybersecurity and Foreign Languages at Towson. Good luck, Cedar.
Thanks, Cedar. Thank you for being my co-pilot during all of those Gunston to Churchill Theater Tech Week runs and for yelling at Bessie to get going with me. Those Disney sing-alongs sure were something special. And I also appreciate how you always step up to the plate. You volunteer to get things rolling, and sometimes we even do so with a song. I'll never be able to hear someone say, "Let's get down to business," without thinking about us belting out the rest of the song. Thanks for being you, Cedar.
I have many memories of Annabelle Gillespie's time here, but my absolute favorite, Annabelle, was your game-winning last-second goal against St. Peter and Paul, a moment that I captured on my cell phone. Annabelle, you're sociable, artistic, confident, self-sufficient, and discerning. And in addition to being a young lady of varied interests, you're a dedicated and loyal friend. You can be found in the photo classroom, bantering with your friends and laughing freely. But you've been a powerhouse both on the field and on the court, an avid 3-season athlete in lacrosse, field hockey, and basketball, winning MVP awards in each sport. For those of you who have not seen examples of Annabelle's photography and videography, which I first came across after she shared her video about her Bay studies trip, you are missing out. Annabelle is deeply talented. Good luck at Elon, Annabelle, and I have a feeling that someday you will be making a difference in the field of videography or photography or communications.
Hi, Annabelle. It's Dr. G. Congratulations, graduate. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you deserve it. I'm so proud of your academic growth, which showed a steady improvement over the past 4 years, as well as your leadership. A true highlight for me was having you in anatomy and physiology this year, as I will never forget your general interest in the class and the raccoon. I also enjoyed discussing episodes of Game of Thrones with you. I'm glad that you were in my advisory and will miss your smiling face. Best of luck in the future. Please make sure to stay in touch. Congrats again.
Gabe Hightower, you are a gentle giant, truly. As someone who is deeply compassionate, thoughtful, quiet, diligent, and respectful, you're a loyal friend and kind to all that you encounter. In the atrium, I often see you studying or trying to study with your companions, chuckling at their antics before refocusing on the task that you are trying to complete at the time. Gabe, you're a lover of the water and the Chesapeake Bay and the Washington Redskins, and you like spending time discovering what you can about creatures great and small. Gabe, I know that your faith is deeply important to you, and you carry yourself with a level of ethical excellence and generosity that reflects your authentic commitment to the teachings of your religion. As a sports lover, intrigued by history and science, and someone who has spent countless hours working for your dad's company, Gabe, I know that you're going to enjoy your pursuit of business study at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Good luck, Gabe.
Gabe Hightower. Gabe has shown improvement throughout his 4 years at Gunston. He has achieved academic success and has been quite active in sports, participating in just about every sport that Gunston has to offer. More importantly, Gabe has grown into a strong leader. Though Gabe is not a rah-rah type of leader, he manages to lead by example. While some leaders say, "do this," Gabe says, "come, and do this with me. We are all looking forward to Gabe taking his skills to the next level in the future.
Lindsay Hildebrand, I remember your shadow day at Gunston several years ago, mostly because I can't remember ever seeing a student look more nervous than you did on that shadow day. You looked so nervous that it actually stressed me out. But then you enrolled, and you soon became a star on the Gunston campus in the classroom, down at the waterfront, and as a citizen and leader. The same young woman who barely survived her shadow day stepped up in front of the whole school several years later to be elected vice president of the student council. It was a triumph of confidence, and I was so incredibly proud of you. At this point, you've become a poster child for Gunston. Literally, you were on the cover of Shore Monthly magazine this spring to celebrate our environmental programs. And I know that you are going to take advantage and love the tremendous opportunities that are going to be presented to you as you head off to the University of Maryland, College Park. Good luck, Lindsay.
Lindsay, you are one of the sweetest humans. Don't change. I am so lucky to have been your advisor. You have grown so much over the last 4 years. You were shy and quiet your freshman year, but I feel like you've really come out of your shell. I wish you the best next year at Maryland, and I'm so excited for you in this new chapter. And I hope you come back and visit, and I'm gonna miss you so much. And I guess, go Terps! Woo!
A few weeks ago, Grace Holmes, you made a vlog about your organizational strategies, and while it was fun to watch, it was also very stressful. I mean, how can anyone be as organized and responsible as Grace Holmes? You are an incredible student, and every time I walk into the atrium this year, it seemed like you were sitting there, poring over your math book, systematically mastering the material. We also know that you're a great person, a great friend, and an all-star athlete who glued together our lacrosse and field hockey teams for 4 years. Meanwhile, Grace, many of us know that you have a deep love for the island of Nantucket, where you spend a good part of your summer working and recharging. And when a student is elected president of the National Honor Society, it's a doubly powerful honor because it means that one is being honored by both an outside organization and their peers. Grace, this is the kind of honor that you deserve. We are going to miss you as you head off to that wonderful Quaker college, Guilford, in North Carolina.
Hi, Grace. It's DG. Congratulations. It feels like only yesterday that you were a freshman riding to and from Gunston with me every day. You have worked incredibly hard over the past 4 years in both academics and athletics. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you truly deserve it. Thank you for being you. Your willingness to help out with projects like the Big Clean Out, and for such great memories over the past 4 years. I will miss you and the holiday countdowns that you start way too early in our advisory. Please make sure to stay in touch. Best of luck in the future. Congrats again.
Wyatt Howell, you are tenacious, warm-hearted, investigative, innovative, and friendly. A young person of great feeling who is always happy to help others around you, Wyatt. You've shared your interest in the arts, learning guitar and ukulele, and volunteering as a camp counselor at the Garfield. It's also been fun to watch you play and improve on the tennis court, where you can always be found laughing and yucking it up with your friends in the breeze and the sunshine. Meanwhile, Wyatt, I love listening in on your conversations, where you're often engaged in a host of scientific topics with your friends, joking and verbally sparring with good humor. Finally, Wyatt, I think of you as a puzzle solver, someone who enjoys finding the answer to complex riddles and the mysteries of how things function. I think you'll be a perfect fit at the University of Maryland, where the size and scope of the opportunities will match the size and scope of your intellectual interests. All the best, Wyatt.
Wyatt, I have enjoyed having you as an advisee. When I think of you, a number of adjectives come to mind, including kind, polite, conscientious, dedicated, and I love to hear you laugh. For our advisory, all freshmen, you have been a stellar role model, mentor, and friend. Wyatt, I will miss your daily greeting and smile and wish you much happiness and success as you begin the next chapter in your life.
Nick Kellogg, When I saw you do your Chesapeake Watershed semester capstone presentation last year, I kept thinking to myself, this guy carries himself like the chairman of the board. With a winning smile, your forearm on the front of the podium, an easy rapport with your audience, and a bottomless well of self-confidence, Nick, you were, as Tom Wolfe would say, a man in full. Throughout your time here, Nick, you've been a great student, a tremendous leader, and just a lot of fun to be around. You're always friendly, and you're always throwing yourself into some new, large, and exciting adventure, sailing, rowing, triathlon. Meanwhile, listening to you talk about engines and boats and cars has kept many of us entertained during those moments in the atrium. Nick, after you finish at Embry-Riddle, I know that you'll enter the world of work with your heart on your sleeve, with a great academic foundation, and with a truly unmatched combination of leadership skills and confidence. Here's wishing you the best, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you for being a neighbor that even Mr. Rogers will be proud of. First of all, I appreciate that you put up with everyone calling you a dad this year. That took a lot of patience. I also like how prepared you are for everything. And if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, let's face it, I'm coming to you. You got everything that we need to survive. I also hope that someone steps up and gives the weather report during morning meetings like you did, but to be honest, they've got a lot to live up to. Thanks for being you, Nick.
Liz Lee, when you first arrived to Gunston during your junior year, you quickly expressed a desire to make friends across the cultural divide and improve your English. We were delighted by your warm, compassionate, determined, and spunky personality. At Gunston, you've built deep friendships, and your wit and playfulness continue to bubble to the surface. Meanwhile, you volunteer to assist others whenever you see the need. Miss Webb shared with me a great story. On base studies, you eagerly offered to help clean the kitchen in the lounge area where you were staying for your trip. After watching you beat rugs with astonishing vigor, one of the other students said, "Wow, I didn't think you needed to do all that." And with an impish grin, you said, "Well, they're filthy, and obviously no one has ever done it." Your classmates looked at you in amazement and turned to Miss Webb saying, "I like her. She's sassy, and she gets things done." Liz, I know you will take this attitude into the world of business after you finish your studies at Penn State. Good luck, Liz.
Hello, Liz. This is Dr. Wilson. Congratulations. I've really enjoyed teaching you in honors physics and AP physics and having you in my advisory. You are such a hard worker. I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you really deserve it. Best luck for the future.
Sage Liu, you are confident, fearless, passionate, inquisitive, and gregarious. When you began your studies at Gunston in January of your junior year, you embraced the challenge of forging new friendships, exploring different academic approaches to learning, and navigating a new culture. Sage, you're truly a force of nature, giving your all to each endeavor that you take on. At our open mic nights, you've delighted us with your vocal and guitar skills as you sang pop tunes with precision. And earlier this year, you inspired us by sharing details of your hometown of Wuhan, bringing us together in global unity. Sage has combined her deep interest in psychology and business, and having started a mental health club at her previous school, and she's won numerous awards in business competitions. Sage, we're going to miss your sunny presence, and we want to wish you all the best luck in college and beyond.
Sage, I was very happy that you became part of our advisory last year and that you took a number of my classes. I was so impressed by your work and your intellect and curiosity. I have no doubt that you're going to be successful in the future. So stay in touch and good luck.
I feel sorry for every senior stuck at home during this pandemic, but Peyton Lord, I think I feel most sorry for you. Because when I think of you, I think of motion and travel, and you always seem to be moving around campus and to and from campus at lightning speed. You combine a great sense of fun, loyal friendship, and a high level of intellectual interest with what commentators often call a winning smile. When given the chance to explore music with others during a songwriting activity, you dive right in without trepidation. As a young lady who enjoys learning about other cultures, you have a keen interest in Spanish, and I know you had a great opportunity to visit Spain during the summer before your senior year, so you could increase your skill in the language and experience a different way of life. Peyton, you're also a true contender on the athletic field. As an avid hockey player, you are relentless in the pursuit of your objective, scoring the most goals for the season during your junior year. With your drive to succeed, there's no ceiling for you, Peyton, and we wish you all the best as you head to college.
Hi, Peyton. It's Dr. G. Congratulations, graduate. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you deserve it. I've enjoyed your sense of humor and seeing your smiling face first thing each day in advisory. A true highlight for me was the great phone conversation we had when I called to check in prior to the official start of distance learning. I'm glad that you were in my advisory and that we got to know each other. I will miss your wit and smiling face. Best of luck in the future. Please make sure to stay in touch. Congrats again.
Hunter Mansfield, who is headed to Purdue University to study industrial design, here is my favorite memory of you. Someone had given me a Polo gift card, and I went to the outlets to buy myself a sweater. Alas, who did I see but you, Hunter, who has been a long-time employee there. I picked a few things off the rack and found something I loved and turned to you and said, "What do you think?" To which you gently responded, "Maybe you should try this one." And you turned and picked out something infinitely more stylish for me off the rack. That's you, Hunter, firm in your views, but so unfailingly polite that you saved me from a massive fashion mistake without making me feel even the slightest bit bad about myself. That's what we love about you, Hunter, and that's why you have such a loyal following of friends, why every teacher admires you, because you're a serious and creative soul, Hunter, someone who draws and paints in your free time, and I'm confident that someday there will be some other salesperson picking something off the rack that is cool and stylish, but it will be something that you, Hunter, have yourself created.
Hunter Mansfield. It has been a great pleasure to watch Hunter in his 4 years as my advisee. During that time, I've seen Hunter grow, mature in confidence. Watching Hunter on the potter's wheel for the first time and the second time and the third time, well, I thought Hunter would have given up because he was frustrated. So was I. But he didn't, and it speaks to his character that he persisted till he was able to produce some really beautiful pieces of pottery. Is pottery metaphor of life? Maybe, but in Hunter's case, it sure seems so. Thanks, Hunter.
I'm not sure what you're going to do with your life, Will Newberg, but I know it's going to be very cool. Determined, self-aware, confident, and kind. Will, you're a serious student with a deep devotion to education. A problem solver, you want to know how things function so you can figure out how to improve them. You work well with others, listening with rapt attention to their reflections and sharing your observations. Mr. Henry loves you as an admissions ambassador. Will, in your application to Gunston, you wrote, "My greatest strength is my tenacity. I have good determination to get all my work done, no matter the situation. I'm ambitious, hardworking, and driven. I work to my own expectations. My motivation comes from myself. I love to learn and create, and I want to participate in study abroad programs. I want to go to college to have opportunities for new experiences and to better learn how to create." Will, you are a worthy valedictorian, a great example of a Gunston student, and Mr. Jefferson's University, the University of Virginia, is a perfect home for you. Good luck, Will.
Thanks, Will. Thank you for challenging me. Sometimes I think you took the whole, if I make a mistake, I want you to call me out on it for some class cut points deal a bit too far, but you kept me humble and you demanded that I challenge you. You deserve that challenge, and I'm proud of you for embracing the whole learning never stops idea. I almost made it through this whole thing without giving you a hard time about Dostoevsky, by the way. Thanks for being you, Will.
Michael Nickerson, you are off to Washington College to play lacrosse, and we are going to miss your polite and practical and loyal and scholarly nature. While you make a big impact on campus, especially in the parking lot where your truck is parked like a battleship, I also know that you are a guy with a huge range of interests, many of which you pursue off campus. What are you doing over the holiday? I once asked you. I'm going to barbecue camp, and thus was born your pig barbecue business. You also know your way around the farm, always pitching in and doing what you can to help. And when you're not working at your array of jobs, you can be found volunteering with 4-H, talking about cars with your friends, hunting, fishing, or playing lacrosse. As one of my friends used to say, Michael, you're one of the good guys. Whether it's business or law, you are destined to become a success. And We're going to miss you at Gunston.
Hi, Michael. It's DG. Congratulations. It feels like only yesterday that you were a freshman spending a large portion of your day with me in advisory, Algebra 1, biology, and of course, varsity fitness. A true highlight for me was having you in anatomy and physiology this year, as I will never forget the raccoon or the high score you earned on the lab practical. I'm so proud of your academic growth and leadership over the past 4 years. Thank you for always being so polite, respectful, and willing to help. I will miss you. Best of luck in the future and all that it may bring. Please make sure to stay in touch.
John Pettit, if I could have figured out how to stick an electrical plug into you, Gunston would not have needed to pay an electric bill during your time here. As a high-energy guy who wears his enormous heart on his sleeve, John, you are dedicated, compassionate, helpful, and motivated. You use your exuberance to assist your classmates, engage in class discussion, and help the greater community as a firefighter. Many of you may not know that John volunteers as a junior firefighter at the local fire department, going out on calls, helping to extinguish flames, and supporting new mothers unable to get to the hospital on time. He comes to school each day, participates on the crew team, and then goes to work at the fire station, often completing graveyard shifts before waking up and starting all over again. We all know that John has a deep desire to serve. And John, we also know that you are ill-suited to a desk job. So when I looked at your application to Gunston, I was unsurprised to find this quote: "My dream job is to be in the Special Forces in the Marine Corps or Army." Alas, this summer, John, we wish you best of luck as you report for boot camp, having decided to follow your dream and join the Marines. Semper Fi, John.
Dear John, I'm so happy to see how mature you have become. You brought so much humanity to our class. I'm so honored to teach an amazing student like you. I wish you the best in your new career. Your teacher and advisor, Shapur Ahmadi.
Daphne Provence, as you head off to Virginia Commonwealth University to study fashion merchandising, there is one thing I know for sure. I have definitely fallen short of your very high standards. Your side-eye is truly blistering. Still, it was a great day when you joined us last year. You added your wry sense of humor, your intelligence, and a colorful splash of culture to the school. Whether it's fashion or food or sartorial choices, Daphne, you always expect the best. When I reread your application, you wrote that your favorite place was Austin, Texas, because it had the best breakfast tacos. If you could do anything over in your life, when you were asked that, you said you would go back to a restaurant called Ichiran, where you had the best ramen in your life. Precocious, compassionate, inquisitive, diligent, hardworking, and honest. Daphne, we're going to miss your optimistic realism, your easy laugh, your good friendship, your deft debating skills, and your combination of sophistication and common sense. Enjoy Richmond, Daphne.
Hey, Daphne, it's Mr. Kaler. Thinking about you, and would like to have known you more than I have had a chance to know you. I wish you and your family the best. I don't know where you're going to college. Let me know about that, will you? And I wish you the best there as well. I hope I'll see you in Easton and we can go to that bakery that you like. Take care of yourself.
Erica Reese, as you head off to the Florida Institute of Technology, the entire Gunston community must now ask, where are we going to get our Girl Scout cookies next year? Erica, my favorite moment with you, as you know, was at Seven Springs on Headmaster's Holiday, where, when we were both in line at the cookie shop, the woman turned to me and said, "And what would your daughter like?" I remember turning to you and saying, "I don't know, sweetie. What would you like?" You played along, and we've been laughing ever since. Indeed, you are someone who would make any parent proud. You're resilient, determined, sympathetic, motivated, and mature. You're a devoted student that possesses that eye of the tiger, and your visible drive to achieve remains unbending in the face of any hardship. Meanwhile, Erica, you're always eager to assist others, whether you're volunteering to teach young Girl Scouts how photosynthesis works, or guiding prospective families through our campus while explaining a day in the life of a Gunston student, or documenting the historical use of Waterfowl Festival headquarters via a presentation. Your ability to get things done is remarkable. We wish you all the best, Erica. Good luck.
Hello, Erica. It's Mr. Kaler. I miss you, and I'm going to miss you even more in the future. I don't know where I'm going to get Girl Scout cookies. I'm not buying them from anyone but you. So stay in touch. Let me know. thinking of you and your family and wishing you the best, sweetheart. Hope I see you before this is all over.
When students start at Gunston, I am frequently greeted with a "Hi, Mr. Henry," before I have to remind them that I'm actually Mr. Lewis. Maddie Rudder, with you always walk past me without saying hi to either myself or Mr. Henry, always in a state of deep thought, and my goal was actually to have you know my name at some point during your time here. Much to my delight, this year you looked up at me one morning before morning meeting and said, "Hi, Mr. Lewis." It made my year. Maddie, you are truly special. You're compassionate, resilient, creative, warm, and optimistic. You are a young woman with an inordinate amount of responsibility on your shoulders, and you have persevered through a series of trying life circumstances. At Gunston, you are quick with a smile, kindly greeting everyone you encounter, and coming alive with your friends in conversation. Always eager to explore your artistic side, you have found a genuine love of writing and a love of a vast array of visual arts. As an avid videographer, you've shot a number of weddings for friends and family members, and you are eager to go to college to pursue your passion for film and television. Maddie, Salisbury University is going to be very happy when you show up on their campus early next year.
Maddie, where to start? I'm so proud of the person that you've become. I keep looking at all you've accomplished in the last 4 years, and especially from your freshman year here at Gunston. Do you remember all those planner checks and making you complete your homework in my room? Well, I'm pretty sure you hated me after that, but I'm glad you forgave me and you stayed in my advisory, and I'm so excited for you to become a seagull, or a gull is what they call them, but still. And, I hope that you keep in touch and that you visit often. And I can't wait to see your movies on the big screen, because I know that you, Maddie, will do anything, and you can do anything that you set your mind to. And I wish you all the best next year.
Mason Rudolphs, you are headed to the Virginia Military Institute, where you will become a skilled rifleman. However, at Gunston, Mason, your greatest and secret weapon has been your kindness. Indeed, if anyone is capable of conquering another nation with his good nature, it's Mason. Elected by your peers to be SGA president, you stand in front of us every morning meeting with a cheerful smile, and your optimism, collaborativeness, and confidence are infectious. Humble, diplomatic, and patient, you always have a kind word for others, and you go out of your way to assist those in need. I'm also grateful that you chose to be a member of our first Chesapeake Watershed semester, Mason, where you gained an interest and passion for public policy. You are a leader in every sense of the word, and I cannot wait to hear about your successes as you launch your college career in Lexington, Virginia. Good luck, Mason.
Thanks, Mason. Thank you for being the sort of person who inspires confidence in others. I will never be able to beat you at tennis. I'll never be able to run faster than you, but you are so inclusive and thoughtful that it doesn't matter. I appreciate how you work with people, how you care about them. You always seem to make it about us, about our flannel fam, our school, our tennis team, our health and nutrition club. You are a true leader, and I'm thankful for all of the jokes and smiles we got to share together. Thanks for being you, Mason.
Isabella Santaboni, I finally got to teach you this year, and it has been a delight. What I've most enjoyed about you during your time at Gunston is that no matter what the day or situation, you always bring the same level of optimism, enthusiasm, curiosity, and playful humor. You're a force of nature when it comes to community involvement. Meanwhile, you have the kind of confidence that allows you to walk into class during midterms with your blanket and a giant Squishmallow bunny in tow. No matter how many responsibilities you are juggling, you never seem stressed, though I know you are sometimes. And your laughter and warm smile fills whatever room you are in. You have been a stalwart on the crew team, and you've consistently led efforts to make the school and the world a more accepting and equitable place. Your choice to study political science at the University of Amsterdam is a splendid choice, and I cannot wait to hear about your adventures.
Thanks, Izzy. Thank you for advocating for a better world. Oh, Captain, my captain says it all. You have such a special way of bringing people together and for bringing out the best of them, of rallying them around a good cause, of explaining why the cause is good in the first place. Your connection with the stories of those around you and of the places that you occupy impresses me every day. Thanks for being you, Izzy.
Max Scott, beyond being the fastest man in the EASYAC, you are an observant, calm, respectful, inquisitive, and compassionate force on our campus, and a young person with a variety of interests. Always curious, all can see when Max's interest is piqued during a class discussion. A spark is lit and his mind takes off, breaking down new information and coming up with inquiries as the subject is explored. Max, I know you enjoy education for the pure joy of learning new information and applying it to your daily life. You delve into subjects through clubs and classwork, delighting in activities like the Science and Tech Club, the Math Club, and more. Although you're a soft-spoken, quiet person, you have a distinct personality that is warm and welcoming. You never make your peers feel unwanted, happily sharing encouraging words to make sure they know that their opinions are fully appreciated. Max, you're just a great guy, and we are going to miss you, and we know that you're going to thrive at Juning out of college.
Hi, Max. It's Dr. G. Congratulations. You have worked incredibly hard over the past 4 years, and now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you truly deserve it. I've been so impressed by your drive and work ethic in both academics and athletics. These are qualities that make you a model student athlete. I will never forget your general interest in dissections, even before you took anatomy and physiology. Thank you for always working hard in advisory each morning and for your wit. I will miss you. Best of luck in the future. Please make sure to stay in touch.
Like all students, Peter Sharpless, when you applied to Gunston, you were asked the question, what is the most interesting fact that you have ever learned? To which you replied, humans are more genetically similar to bananas than we are to dogs. Now, I am not sure if that's true, but I do remember thinking, this kid's going to end up on the academic team. And so you did. Peter, you're optimistic, inquisitive, collaborative, compassionate, and adventurous. And you find the silver lining in the most ominous of clouds. A dedicated and upbeat friend, you never hesitate to bring a smile to those you encounter, regardless of whether or not you're experimenting in science classes, pushing yourself as a member of the crew team, discovering how to repair the environment, or going through your solutions for Model UN with your peers. You are constantly striving to improve the lives of others. It has been a pleasure to get to know you, to coach you on the academic team, and I know that your talents will be on full display at the University of Maryland at College Park. Good luck, Peter.
Hey, Peter, it's Mr. Kaler. Thinking about you, thinking about your family, wishing you the best, wishing I could see you, wishing you could have another advisory and so forth. I read your paradigm. I thought it was excellent, and gonna miss you. I wish you the best in the future, and I hope I can see you before this thing is all over. Congratulations.
Abby Silva, I will always remember that freezing November afternoon your freshman year that we spent together at the Waterfowl Festival, carefully guarding the Gunston turtle and bringing it back to safety. As we chatted, I was introduced to a mature, focused, sensible, competent, cheerful, and honest young woman. Occasionally one encounters a teenager with an old soul, someone so far ahead of their peers in their decision-making, and Abby certainly fits this description. Abby, you have no qualms about voicing your opinion, and you are always happy to guide your friends back to the path of sane, rational thought when they veer off course. A true Renaissance woman with a variety of interests. You're always on the go, coaching young athletes, filming and editing videos, playing field hockey, and participating in competitive sailing and trap shooting. It was a delight to have you in AP government this year, and I know that you are destined to make a difference as you pursue a pre-law track at High Point. Good luck, Abby.
Hi, Abby. It's Dr. G. Congratulations, graduate. It feels like only yesterday that you were a freshman spending a large portion of your day with me in advisory, Algebra 1, and biology. Now that this day is finally here, I hope that you take a moment to enjoy this achievement because you deserve it. A true highlight for me was our great discussions during lab period or after school. Thank you for being you, for your thoughtfulness and acts of kindness, and for the great memories over the past 4 years. I will miss you. Please make sure to stay in touch. Best of luck in the future. Congrats again.
Jackson Talbot, when I think of a word or phrase to describe you, the last two things that come to mind are the terms indoors and dry land. You were a guy who on your application to Gunston wrote that if you were stuck on a deserted island, you'd bring a house, a boat, and a fishing rod. You wrote that your most prized possession was your Carolina skiff, that something important to you was your fishing rod, and that the person you most inspired was that great Chesapeake Bay explorer, John Smith. Jackson, you're a Chesapeake Watershed Semester alum, you work at a marina in the summer, and you're a gregarious, active, capable, and jovial classmate and friend. A dedicated athlete, you come alive during the lacrosse season, all the while keeping your genuine passion for life on the eastern shore of Maryland. As a deep lover of the outdoors, it only makes sense that you'll be pursuing your interests in science and math. Good luck as you study and play lacrosse at the Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
Jackson Talbot. I've enjoyed having Jackson as my advisee the last 4 years. In my classes, Jackson always impressed me with his commitment to long-term projects and seeing them through to completion. Everything from well-crafted bowls that did in pottery to rockfish carved from wood. It's been a real pleasure, Jackson. Thanks.
Every once in a while, a student shows up who you think is 15, but they're actually 40 years old, in spirit, in maturity, and in approach. Alan Wong, that's you. You're charismatic and witty and compassionate, reflective, conscientious, and cheerful, always ready with a smile and a joke, and you greet your peers and teachers each day with a positive attitude. Alan, you reflect the heart and soul of the Gunston community, and you are a natural bridge across cultural differences. You defy easy categorization. You're an athletic nerd, a skilled writer in your second language, and a friend to all. You're famous for staying behind long after class to continue discussions, and one friend described you as one of the best listeners they've ever met. Always curious about the world around you, you delight in learning about science, whether it's biological, chemical, and computer-based, and you've admitted to writing code to relax. The world is your oyster, Alan, and the University of Rochester is a perfect place for you to continue your study after Gunston. Good luck.
Hey, Alan, how you doing? This is Mr. Kaler. I'm thinking about you, and I miss you. Wish we could still be having advisory. I'm not sure where you're going in the fall, but I wish you the best, and I'd like to see you before this is all over. Take care of yourself.
During your time at Gunston, Owen, you have truly grown, and grown, and grown, and grown, and grown some more. And Owen, your towering physical stature is matched by your towering intellect, the towering respect that your friends and teachers have for you, and your towering commitment to your interests. I know that diving into your classes assignments is just as important to you as the time you spend building rockets for the Science and Engineering Club, the time you spend with your dad at 5:30 in the morning on summer days rowing, or traveling to Africa to distribute classes to those who need them. Owen, you've always carried yourself with a cheerful good nature that lives all of those around you. Indeed, you're also a young person who truly believes in putting forth 100% effort while also remaining dedicated to maintaining a balanced life. I can think of no better place than RIT as a school for you to continue to pursue your interests after Gunston. Good luck, Owen.
Hey, Owen, it's Mr. Kaler. Thinking about you. I'm missing you. Wish we could still be seeing each other in advisory. I'm going to miss you this fall. I hope we can get together before this whole thing is over. I'm thinking about you and your family and chocolate chip cookies and chicken curry and all those good things. Wish you the best, man. I hope I see you soon.
Leo Shao, we've gotten to know each other from just a few conversations in my office. And I am always impressed with your earnest cleverness, your love of fun, and your understated but excellent sense of humor. Leo, you have a quick mind, and you are quite adept at learning concepts quickly, but you're also kind-hearted and social. I know that you love to spend time with others and to make new friends. You've been an active part of your host family's life, and believe me, I know they have been very happy that you have shared your love of cooking with them and that how much you enjoy spending time with your host brother. I also know that when you have spare time, you love to hang with your friends and play video games, and I know that you're going to be successful as you study graphic design when you head off to college. Good luck, Leo.
Leo, I would like to congratulate you on graduating, and I'm glad that you were in my advisory and we got to know each other. Good luck in the future. Make sure to keep in touch. And again, congratulations.
Daniel, you're a cheerful, earnest, diligent, kind, and thoughtful student, sincerely polite, and a young man who, when you knock on the door, you ask if we have a moment to speak. Happy to wait if you need to, but always the conversation is wonderful and delightful. During your time here, Daniel, you've been an excellent self-advocate who works hard to make sure that you do everything correctly the first time. Always ready with a smile and indefatigable goodwill, you greet your peers and teachers with a positive attitude each day. Meanwhile, I know that your host parents love having you around, especially because you've shared with them your passion for conversation, but most importantly, for cooking. Daniel, good luck as you head to college to study computer science. And we've been sorry not to have you on campus earlier this year when you weren't able to get back from China. All the best.
Daniel, we've missed you over these past few months. In advisory, your smiling face, your good humor, your hard work ethic. And so, congratulations on graduating. Good luck in the future. And I hope we see each other again soon.
Jimmy Zhao, you are funny, charismatic, witty, caring, and cheerful. Always ready with a smile and a joke. You greet your peers and your teachers with a positive attitude each day. Jimmy can always be found building a sense of community by putting his peers at ease. Jimmy, you're one of the first to befriend new students, finding ways to put them at ease. During a Chesapeake Bay Studies trip, an instructor explained that singing for a specific type of snail that they encountered would make it come out of its shell. Without hesitation, Jimmy, I remember hearing the story of how you took the creature in your hand, told the teacher, "Don't worry, I've got this," and burst into song to encourage it out of its portable home. Jimmy, your passion for computer science, basketball, and your talent for photography, filmmaking, and music are tremendous. And I know that you will pursue this wide array of interest in college with a specific focus on business and computer science. Enjoy the University of Arizona, Jimmy. We're going to miss you.
Jimmy, since your arrival at Gunston, you have developed social and academic skills which will have a positive impact on you for the rest of your life. From my standpoint, it has been very rewarding to watch you grow and develop. Over the past 3 years, I've seen you make authentic connections with peers, teachers, and coaches while cultivating self-discipline and communication skills. Blending these new skills with your natural sense of curiosity and open personality will certainly lead you to a bright future wherever the road takes you.
Joey Show, from your first day, you have been a thoughtful, diligent, motivated, resilient, and kind student with an incredibly high level of commitment to your education and your growth to be a well-rounded person. Whether you're raising money for the yearbook club or losing yourself in the work of art that you're creating or returning a volley on the tennis court, you put your all into everything you do. Joey, you've also always been quick to help your peers who might be struggling with a subject, taking time to explain the fine details, and your musical laughter can be heard throughout the spirited discussions with your friends. Finally, Joey, you're one of the most talented writers in your grade, and you possess an uncommon level of maturity and poise, tackling each challenge that you face head on. Good luck as you enjoy and start your collegiate studies in the realm of economics at The Ohio State University. All the best, Joey.
Joey, I am so proud of you and all that you have accomplished this year. I keep thinking I'm so happy Cynthia convinced you to join our advisory. I mean, I know that Pancake Day was probably a big swing in that decision, but I'm so glad that you joined. I can't believe you're graduating and you're going to move mountains at Ohio State University, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish in your future. I'm really so honored that I got to be your advisor, and I'm going to miss you so much. Please don't forget to keep in touch, and good luck next year.
When you're ready. Graduates, embrace this moment. After today, look back and think back to your friends, your family, and your mentors who have supported you always. Then look forward to all that there is to come. In the years ahead, we wish you good health, strength, wisdom, and courage. We thank you for the parts of yourselves that you leave with Gunston, and we look forward to all that you will bring back in your future. Go and be well.